Wake up in Provincetown!
Good morning, everybody. Wake up.
Wake up, wake up.
In Provincetown. This week featuring
Wake up, wake up.
Can I have some coffee?
Wake up, wake up.
Make it strong, please. Hey. Oh. Hey.
Wake up, wake up.
Oh. No, really, can I have some coffee?
Wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up.
Guys, it's Friday the 13th. Ooh.
Spooky.
I know.
The last Friday the 13th was in October, right?
Was
I
there?
don't know.
No, I don't
Just
think
kidding.
so.
Anyway, it's Friday the 13th.
If you know when the last Friday the 13th was, please put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. This is Wake Up in Provincetown. Thank you for joining us and for waking up in Provincetown.
Yeah. It's like mid-December.
I know. And it's
Wild.
30 degrees out. It's actually below freezing today.
I hate that.
Oh my God, the weatherman, the Boston weatherman the other day was being such a bitch. He was like, everybody, it's 34 degrees out, but the wind chill is 20. But don't worry, that means the water's not going to freeze because wind chill has nothing to do with whether water freezes or not. I repeat, wind chill, no matter how it feels to you, the water's not going to freeze. I'm like, why is he talking to us like we're all stupid?
That's like me hosting trivia.
I know.
But it's like, I'm looking for the name of a film 3 questions later. Do you need the actor?
I remember.
Yeah.
Are you going to keep doing trivia after you go to the porch bar full time?
Yeah, I'm already at the porch bar full time.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like your season hasn't released.
Yeah, I mean, who knows next season, but I do think I will continue once it's in high season.
That's very nice. That's
Yeah.
very good.
Miami's at 3:16
Oh,
Really?
Perfect.
today.
Low tide is at 3:16 today.
Sunset clamming.
It's not sunset at 3 o'clock.
Pretty
But
much.
by the time you get out there and come back,
Yeah.
you're walking in the
Twilight.
sunset. It'll be beautiful.
It'll be gorgeous. Are you going?
No.
Why?
I don't know. Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about
That's
that later.
bedtime. Yeah.
Bedtime?
Literally.
Bedtime is 10:08
There
when
was-
I get home from doing
There was
this.
a day this past week where there was a day this past week where I got home, got in my pajamas, cooked myself dinner, started eating like a little ice cream for dessert, and I looked at the clock and it was like 6:45. And I went, oh shit.
Yeah.
I'm already at my like 10:30 routine.
Mhm. Yay.
Yeah. But we're almost there. I think it's a week until this winter solstice.
Yeah.
The 20th?
21st.
21st.
Is there a winter solstice bonfire in the offing?
Who knows?
No,
I'm sure.
Patrick's out of town and he usually does
Oh,
it.
Stephen White, if you're listening, Stephen White hosts those kinds of things
Yeah, that would be fun.
too. Yeah, I think that we should do that.
How was your week? How was your Holly Folly?
Wild. Last weekend was, I mean, if you ask the PBG, I believe that it was the busiest Holly Folly of all time. Right?
PBG?
Yes.
Do we have a PBG in the room?
It felt like it. Like there were 100 shows and every single one was sold out.
Yeah.
Even the stuff on Sunday. So like Saturday night, I was in Mike Flanagan's show, completely sold out. Great time had by all. And then Sunday I went to Drag Brunch, Anita's Drag Brunch, completely booked. So many people in there with Sam. Sam and I had a drag brunch date. And then Sunday afternoon was the cookie party at the post office.
Oh, yeah.
Hundreds and hundreds of people.
Yeah,
You didn't come.
I walked in.
You did?
I really did. I walked in. I was like, this is a lot. And then I left.
Yeah, everybody that like came specifically to say hi to me either didn't come and say hi because there were too many people or had one drink and left. I was like, where are all my friends? And Peter was like, oh, we all left. It was just too many people in there. And I was like,
yeah, I
That's
walked in.
great.
I wanted to see Raquel Blake. I wanted to see Jonathan Joseph Peters, Christian.
everyone but me.
I saw Peter. Where were you?
I'm not Peter.
I mean,
I was at the bar. I was
Close
working. I
enough.
was working the cookie party.
oh, you were bartending?
Yes.
Oh, cute. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I love that. I heard, so Raquel Blake was back in town and she did a number. Did you hear about this?
The blind number.
Yeah.
That was at Drag Brunch. Oh my gosh.
That cracks me up. She did
Where Are You Christmas?
Where Are You
by
Christmas?
Faith Hill.
And like just straightforward for the first verse, and then for the first chorus, she like took out a walking stick.
Yeah, like in these big sunglasses, and like Anita led her out, and we were like, "What is
So
going on? This is so wrong."
So wrong. I
And
love
then
Raquel
she like
though.
opened the door and went out into the street with the walking stick,
Jesus.
and like lip synced in the street for a little while before coming back in. And some friends of mine who shall remain nameless, who I watched walk by, I saw them later on at the holiday market at the canteen, and they were like, "Oh my God, you were in that drag brunch." As soon as Liza came out pretending she was blind, we ran away. I was like, "That wasn't Liza
Oh
Locke."
God. Ugh.
Know your drag queens, people. That was Rachael Blake
It's
pretending
tough,
to be
though.
blind.
It's tough.
Yeah.
I had my holiday market over at the Gifford House with New England Open Markets, which was so much fun.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was kind of my first big event, I feel
Mhm.
like, as the bar manager. And it went really well.
Good.
Yeah, we had a little hot cocoa coffee bar. I went
Mhm.
through like 6 bottles of peanut butter tequila because that's what
Ooh.
everyone
Peanut butter tequila.
Okay, I thought the same thing. Literally, my liquor rep was like, "Oh, try this," and I was like, "Peanut butter tequila? That sounds disgusting." It is so good, and it's so good that I ordered 12 more bottles, and it is at the Gifford House. Come get some; it's delicious.
Which rep told you that?
Carol?
I knew you were going to say that.
Do you have to put a warning sign up on the bar that says this establishment serves peanuts?
Oh, I don't know.
Can I make out with someone after having a peanut?
I have no idea.
You should know that,
know.
Mr. Bar Manager.
Sure. I think so. Yeah,
How can that be?
you'll have to come.
I
and
guess
check
we'll
it
have
out.
to go find out.
Yeah, but it was really fun and lively. Tudana and Vivian Fontaine were there hosting. There was like
Mhm.
50 all queer vendors from all over New England. It was really awesome.
Oh, you know what I did Friday right after this show last week? Drove to Providence, Rhode Island to see Roxanne and Mannheim Steamroller.
No way. How was
Yeah.
it?
Well, you know that Roxanne is the band leader, right? So like you go to this 30-piece orchestra in a 2,000-seat theater, and your friend is like in the center with a spotlight on her, like doing all the talking. She's like introducing the bandmates, and I took Kevin and
I love that.
Mona Moore. They had never seen it before, and they were like, "Wait, it's basically her show." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, you guys, that's why we drove to Providence, because it's Roxanne's show."
Roxanne Steamroller.
Yeah. It was great. We had so much fun. Providence was, as always, a delight. We went to that bar with what I thought and said was a 30-foot stripper pole. A friend of mine was there, and he was like, "That's
It was a regular.
13 feet."
Yeah, it was a regular stripper.
It just looks so tall.
Where is that? The Owl?
No, the Dark Lady.
Dark Lady.
Yeah.
Dark Lady. No.
Yeah. Do
Um,
you ever go to Providence?
Yeah, my brother lives outside
Oh,
Providence.
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I have friends there.
Friends?
Yeah.
Do they go to RISD?
No. I also was in 2 of Sandy Claus's shows last weekend with Kristen Becker.
How'd that go?
It was so fun. Yeah.
Really
I
fun.
love working with Kristen. I love the character of Sandy Claus, and every year we delve a little deeper into it. And this year was really awesome.
Good.
Yeah. And it was funny. We should probably wait after the election to write it, because depending on what happens, we'll inform the direction of the show, and it sure did.
It did.
It really did. But it was a really fun show. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Does she have more shows before Christmas?
I don't think so. We just did the 2.
Oh, I feel like there should be shows this weekend.
Mm.
That's my idea.
Oh, okay.
Stephen White says the bonfire.
Bonfire will
Thank
happen.
you, Stephen White.
Thank you, Stephen.
Had a good feeling about that one.
Yeah.
Hey. And then Wednesday, of course, was the Kook, formerly known as Toy Drive, the family fund Kook toy fundraiser.
Kook Family Drive Kook Toy Fundraiser is now
Yeah,
called.
no.
Bob.
Really just trips off. the
You
tongue.
really roll. Just a,
I'm so glad we renamed and rebranded it to something that's easier to say. Raised already over $9,000 for the families of Provincetown, and that's not even factoring in the bar that the Crown is generously donating
oh my
to.
God,
the cause.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. And this, I mean, it was really inclement on Wednesday. We were afraid, like, it was 7 to 9. At like 7:03, it was just the people performing in the room. And Mark was like, and we had moved it to the Paramount, which is much bigger than every other space it's ever been in. And we're like, what if nobody comes to this? And then everybody came.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. Except you.
I was busy. A tree fell on the porch bar.
A tree fell on
A
the porch
tree
bar?
fell over in front of the Gifford House. And
Was
yeah.
anyone hurt?
no, but it knocked all of our power and stuff out.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh.
We have a video clip.
Oh, there's a video clip of the Kook fundraiser. It's of you and me singing Great.
Yay!
I'm so excited for everybody to see this. You guys enjoy this. What?
Parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long ago. Hey, it's the most wonderful.
We weren't so much fun.
We weren't supposed to sing that song, and it sounds like
it sounds like you weren't supposed to sing that song.
Somebody else was supposed to do it, but they had to leave, and Mark made me do that.
That sounds great, though.
Mark also made me do my own number. I did Patti LaBelle's.
Where are my background singers?
Where are my background singers? Yeah, I lip synced to that, and I'm not a lip sync artist. I don't ever go up and lip sync anything, but it was actually really fun. It's not as easy as lip syncing is really hard work.
Yeah.
Like I was dripping, pouring sweat. I come off the stage, and Clay was like, "All you were doing was lip syncing." I was like, "Don't ever say that again."
Yeah, don't say that in
is
front of
very
queens in
hard
town.
physical effort because you're performing, you're singing it.
That was Todd's opening number for Donna's movie night here on Sunday.
Really?
Yeah. Really great.
She intersperses it with something.
Jingle all the way.
Another holiday classic.
Yeah.
Is Tadana doing Gay Bible this weekend?
No.
No?
No. Not this weekend. Yeah, no.
You sure?
I did trivia last night.
You
with Todd.
Oh.
Yeah, it was so fun. He did his round. His round was That's Some UAP, which was in reference to. Have you heard about this?
Leave half an hour ago when you told me.
Great. There are apparently car-sized drones coming out of the ocean in New Jersey and flying over everyone's head, and no one knows what it is, including the military.
They said they don't
Like
know.
the governor is like, "Hey, we need some help. This is happening. We don't know what it is." And the military was like, "Oh, we don't know what it is either, but don't be scared." Right. Concerning. And like every day, more videos of these things come out.
What do you think it is?
I don't know. The military.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a slow branding launch.
It flies, but it can go underwater. Oh, that's cool.
And wasn't like a few months ago we found out that aliens were in the ocean?
That's just sea life. I think everything that I see in the ocean is an alien.
Yeah.
Like they glow in the dark.
Yeah. Spooky stuff.
Deep down in
Yeah.
there.
But we'll see. We'll keep you posted about the UAPs in New Jersey.
Oh my gosh. If you saw that, wouldn't you shit your pants?
Yes, I would.
So cool. And scary.
Speaking of Christmas, Bob's out of town next week, so there's no more Christmas episodes with Bob, right?
Oh, that's correct.
Yeah.
After I get back.
So I brought you a present. I realized that this was my last chance to give it to you this morning, so I hadn't wrapped it yet.
Okay.
But I think you'll manage.
Oh, you guys. It's a UAP.
Literally. It's a coffee cup.
Oh my God! It's the
Yeah.
Mariah Carey coffee cup
Yeah, so
with
it's
all
like-
of her albums on
Yeah,
it.
it's like if you had all the cassette tapes lined up,
In
which
chronological
I'm sure
order.
you did at one point.
Cassette tapes?
Yeah.
How old do you think I am?
46.
No.
7?
Go the other way.
Smash!
Thank you.
Of course. It's really cute,
Oh, I
right?
love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so sweet.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry
Yeah.
Christmas.
What else did I get up to this week? I guess I have news stories.
Tell us
Winter
the
market.
news.
Oh, it was also the underwear party, which I was wondering if it was going to be
Holly
crazy.
Folly underwear party?
Yeah, if it was going to be really busy, but of course, the gays love to get their underwear. It
Yeah,
was
they
wild
do.
and fun.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I know I mentioned last week that Sam, did you get those 2 pictures I sent you? Oh, great. I like right before the show and then forgot to tell you. But I mentioned last week that the new season of Drag Race was coming out featuring Corey King from Boston and also our friend Susie Toot, who's a member of the Sharks Creek Devil Wears Payless umbrella family.
Mhm.
And the teaser trailer came out this week with images of the queen in the season, and a couple of Jonathan Joseph Peters looks that he created for Susie were featured in it.
Work.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Jonathan Joseph Peters I know the only look I know he definitely made was her entrance look, so we're definitely gonna see that one. Yeah.
When does that start? January?
I think right after the new year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Really
JJP.
excited. I know. I'm really
Fingers
excited
in
to
so many
see.
pies, that one.
Is that a phrase people use?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fingers in so many pies.
You've never heard that?
No,
it's a good video too.
I think I heard it first on a cassette tape.
I'm not gonna Google that. Fingers in many pies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna...
It's real.
Oh, interesting.
You learn something new every day here on Wake Up.
I really do.
Hmm.
What else do I got for news? Caitlin Clark is Athlete of the Year according to Time, which makes sense. She entirely changed women's basketball. The WNBA was just announced as the fastest growing brand of 2024. But the real story is the image on the cover.
Why?
So,
I got that one.
okay, good. So the image on the cover is her in a sports bra, in some pants, like whatever. Great picture, right? But the crazy part, not the crazy part, but like, this is some like deep lesbian lore. So Caitlin Clark is straight, but in this photo, she's wearing a pair of pants that are Jenna Lyons' pants, who her girlfriend was the photographer. So the girlfriend who's the photographer is like, oh, wear my girlfriend pants. And I feel like that is the most lesbian thing to ever happen, ever.
Oh, the girlfriend.
Right?
Gals being pals.
Yeah, just like, oh, wear my girlfriend's pants for this photo shoot. I'm like, that sounds...
Like the person is a pants designer, or it was a
No,
pair
no.
of that person's pants?
She, like her pants that she owns, then wears.
That's gay.
That's super gay.
Well, that's pretty gay, huh?
Yeah.
Girlfriend jeans.
Girls helping out girls.
Girlfriend jeans, indeed. Let's
How
go
do
to...
you know Caitlin Clark is straight?
She has said that. She has a
Oh.
boyfriend.
Boo.
Beer.
Yeah, I mean, not to be that person, but we'll see.
Oh!
We'll see.
Wow.
Terrible of you.
Oh, come on.
You watch basketball. I don't know anything about these people.
Okay, let's go to weather.
Good morning, guys. Greetings from sunny Tucson, Arizona. I'm out here soaking up the desert vibes with my granny, but back home, Mother Nature decided to throw a little temper tantrum this week. On Wednesday, a massive storm blew through, tossing trees like toothpicks and whipping our shores. Case in point, check out this enormous tree that went full horizontal across Bradford Street at the Gifford House. Huge thanks to my buddy Sean number one, for keeping tabs on the chaos while I'm out here living my best cactus life. Oh, and my buddy Josh caught some wild waves crashing against Finizzi's. Luckily, the restaurant stayed high and dry with this storm. Now, let's talk weather and grab a scarf because it's brisk out there. Today we've got sunshine, but don't let it fool you. It's chilly and breezy with a high of 36 and a low of 28. Tomorrow, copy and paste that forecast. Sunny, breezy, high of 36, low of 30. Sunday shakes things up with a mix of clouds and sun and a slightly warmer high of 39. But by Monday, the clouds roll in. We'll see some afternoon rain with highs hitting 44. And then there's Tuesday. It's basically a weather mullet. Rain in the morning, party in the afternoon with a high of 55. Tides are doing their thing this weekend, swimming higher and lower than usual thanks to Sunday's full moon, the cold moon. It's the final full moon of the year. Fun fact, the least illuminated moon, rising and setting at its northernmost point, won't happen again until 2043. So mark your lunar calendars. Shout out to Stephen for dropping that moon wisdom on me. Before the moon steals the spotlight, don't miss tonight's Geminid meteor shower. Peak viewing is between 1 and 2 a.m., perfect for night owls and insomniacs. Even with the bright moon, you can expect up to 150 meteors per hour, which means 150 chances to wish for something important, like warmer weather, or maybe a winning lottery ticket. That's it for me. Stay warm, keep wishing, and have an amazing weekend. Guys, back to you at the brewery.
I hope you're enjoying your time in the desert, Sean.
Wait, I thought that was the sand dunes. I thought it was up by the visitor center.
There are
Sand
no
dunes.
cacti at the visitor center.
Mm.
Dead
Right.
giveaway.
There's sand in the desert.
There is sand in the desert. Evidently, somebody shipped 100 sandbags filled with desert sand from Las Vegas on pallets to Provincetown over the weekend in preparation of the storm that happened on Wednesday. How do you know that?
Because I know the person that placed those sandbags.
That sounds expensive.
Sounds expensive.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but we have sand here, right?
We do.
Yeah.
Free
And
and
bags.
Yeah, and bags. Yeah, free and
And the
available.
town will deploy them for you, right?
No.
No?
No.
Oh.
We'll talk about this next week.
Right.
We're going to talk about this next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know Mark had you went into town hall and had a storm preparedness meeting.
Yes. And
Rather than Mark running around the East End trying to figure everything out himself every storm.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next.
Perfect.
Great.
Yeah.
What else is happening in the news, Harry?
That's kind of all I had.
Didn't you want to talk about Luigi?
Oh, right.
Mangione?
That's true. Last week, I people were not into what we were saying, it seems.
They weren't.
Right, Sam? In the comments, people were saying we're being...
People were like, "Oh, move on, next topic."
Um, obviously, I don't condone or endorse violence, and I'm obviously not for violence in the future. But I do think it is very interesting how this has kind of awoken and galvanized this position of absolutely hating the healthcare industry.
Well, yeah. I mean,
It's just like endless stories of people having like absolutely horrific ordeals with healthcare industries. And I think if you're a person who, obviously I'm going to say like shooting someone is obviously wrong, but if you're one of those like, oh, violence isn't the answer, I feel like the only way to, you have to oversimplify it in order to make Luigi Mangione the villain and this healthcare CEO fully the victim. Like the only way to make that true is to outrageously oversimplify the situation.
Yeah.
Did you hear that a woman was on the phone with her healthcare provider, actively being denied healthcare and insurance funds to support her healthcare, and she said, "What is it? Deny, defend, depose.
deny, depose, delay.
Deny, depose, delay. You guys are next. Deny, defend, depose." And she said, deny, defend, depose. You guys are next. And she got arrested and is being held at $100,000 bond because she's a danger. Which,
I mean, you shouldn't be threatening people on the phone either, but
yeah, but you see the ways in which the like our Justice Department, the media, the police force has come out to really get behind this rich white man. And it's also, you look at it, it's like people get shot and killed every day, and if the guy runs around the corner and the police catch him, they're like, well, there's really nothing we can do. And then this guy gets shot and somehow it's different, and there's a nationwide manhunt and a $60,000 reward and a tip line, and it just goes to show you like how the justice system treats wealthy victims as opposed to non-wealthy victims.
And I mean, you know, not for nothing, but as soon as it happened, and I think we maybe even said this last Friday, you know, politicians, people who work in the healthcare industry were like making posts about, you know, condolences, yada, yada. And on one post, there were 80,000 reactions and 77,000 of them were the laugh react. Most people are like completely lacking sympathy in what happened. And it is because of how people feel about the health insurance industry.
Yeah.
I was reading a journalist's account this morning before I came here where she was like, you know, I was 2 minutes from having she had gone deaf because of COVID, and she was about to have this like ear surgery, and like 2 minutes, like she had anesthesia coming into her veins. 2 minutes before they started, the surgeon was like, oh no, they just denied this, I can't do it. And she's like, I'm already here. And he was like, they do that. They knew I was in this room and they did this on purpose. And that health insurance industry was United Health Group.
And that is an act of violence.
Yeah.
To deny people the life-saving treatment that they need to live, and especially because your only goal is to make money for people that will never meet that person, never know their story. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's an ugly, ugly system.
Yeah, I mean, I hope this is if for nothing else, I hope it is a wake-up call, and it is the beginning of a movement to change not only the healthcare industry, but so many industries that abuse people and commit acts of violence against people every day to make rich people even richer.
I just hope United Health Group never buys Harvard Pilgrim, which is my health insurance company.
Yeah.
Harvard, that's the most Massachusetts name of those two.
Yeah.
Like, what two words say Massachusetts more than Harvard and Pilgrim? It's like a local insurance
Right.
company with a very low deny rate.
We are so lucky to live in Massachusetts.
Thank you, Harvard Pilgrim. Thank you, Massachusetts. Thank you, Senator Elizabeth Warren.
Mhm.
Something happier? Are people already over us in the comments?
What? We always have some idiot Trump supporter in the comments. I think that's it. That's it. I have
Okay.
the news.
Great.
Yeah. Let's move along. You sit down with Billy Hough.
Oh yeah, you guys, I don't know if you know about this, but Billy Hough is teaching a punk rock high school on Sundays at the Governor Bradford. He's teaching everybody 3 chords, which is all you need to know to write a punk song. Everybody knows that. Check this chat with Billy. I had so much fun talking with him.
Hey everybody, I'm at the Provincetown bookshop with Billy Hough.
On my lunch break. Hello. How are
Thank you
you?
for taking some time on your lunch break
Thank
to
you
talk
for coming
with
to the
us.
Provincetown Bookshop.
So how many Sundays into punk rock high school are you?
We are actually 4. We started off with like 50 people, and then we had most of them come back the second week. But then we had 2 weeks. We had the week of Thanksgiving and the week of Holly Folly, which were busier than people thought.
Totally.
So a lot of people, I think, have missed a couple, and so we're going to try to get everybody back this Sunday.
Oh good, so I haven't missed 4, I've really missed 2.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
good.
So everybody's fine. So just come back. And a couple of people want to get started. And if you really have the time to rehearse between Sundays, you can certainly come and join us. But yes, finally we had 8 people there, and we put everybody together as a band. Everybody is playing the piano and the guitar.
Both?
Slowly, yeah. I teach them both at the same time because it doesn't make sense to just learn how to. You have to understand what the music is doing, and I think the piano does that. So I start with the piano, then go to the guitar. But we've started writing songs. I showed them how to rip off lyrics by just changing them. So
Who are you having them rip off?
the Ramones, yes, they'd be totally blindsided. But the point is that we're gonna have one more week of kind of getting our shit together, and then we're gonna break off into bands.
All right, of how many?
You can be 2, like the White Stripes.
Okay.
You can be 5, like the Strokes. It's kind of your call. We'll flesh it out. Some people will know people. Some people will just be put in. And everybody's got to name their band, come up with a logo, make a T-shirt with a Sharpie, write a goddamn song. And then by the end of the year, or the week after the end of the year, we will have a contest. And the winner gets bragging rights.
Who are the judges gonna be?
I didn't even fucking think of that.
Think of that.
I'll call some of my punk rock friends,
Right.
We got
Pauline,
something-
get Pauline to do this.
Yeah, for sure. We got a lot of punk rockers here, that's fine.
What inspired this?
Because I felt like once it was right after the election, and I thought, number one, a lot of people need distraction. And it's not just the distraction of the class. It's like if you really start jamming on a guitar, like you kind of can go down the rabbit hole for 6 years. You know what I mean? But I also wanted to build punk rock because they're kind of coming for us in a way. And I don't know, they're not going to come for us first. I don't know they're really going to come for us, but if they do, I love the idea that everyone in this town is a fucking punk rocker. It's also a way of making songs like God Save the Queen, that you can be as caustic as you can. So it's a way to kind of vent frustration, something to work on, and a total distraction.
What is your favorite punk rock song of all of them, ever?
God.
All right, let's talk about it.
Know That You Can't Beat is, I would say, Gloria, Patti Smith, opening track on Horses, 1975. It just doesn't get better. There's a lot of them as good, sure, But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. But as we talked about it, punk rock means different things to different people. Because I said, what do you think about Nina Simone's Mississippi Goddamn a Punk Song? And pretty much everyone was like, yes. So there's a little bit of leeway in there that we can go. And, because I want people to write something that they're excited about. So that's it. Plus, I just needed something else to do, apparently. So fuck it, right?
What are the first 3 chords you taught them?
I taught everybody A, D, and E. That's the easiest fingering on. It doesn't matter on a piano, but it's the easy 3 chords to do. And if you can sit home and kind of just do this for 15 minutes a day, once a day, within 2 weeks, you can be ready to go.
Awesome.
So that's it.
What
Yeah.
time on Sunday?
4:30.
Where?
Free. It's at the Governor Bradford, which is really fun. It's over in the side, so we have our own kind of space and stuff like that.
Nice.
But we have a great core group of people, and I'm hoping that everybody who had to work by surprise these last 2 weeks will at least be able to come back and get everything caught up this week.
Awesome. Sunday at 4:30 at the Governor Bradford. The restaurant's open and everything too, right?
No, the restaurant's open absolutely and
Awesome.
everything too, so.
Yeah, so I'll see you on Sunday at 4:30.
See
A,
a
D,
Coop.
and E.
See a Coop.
Oh, right, Coop.
Right. And
Before
then
that,
we'll
Coop.
be performing, of course. We're doing some punk rock Christmas songs.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
What is it?
It's just Christmas songs. I just scream them.
Okay. Oh, awesome. Great. Love it. I love
Okay.
you. Thank you for
I love
this.
you too. My goodness.
That looks like so much fun. Stop by on Sundays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel, John, this is for you. Whoever you are.
Bob's upset.
I'm crying about how expensive healthcare is. Moving on.
Yeah. Please welcome Rachael Brister.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the new gig.
Thank you.
It's really exciting. So you have lived in Provincetown before, and you're back.
Did. I posted about my new job on social media, and I was like, you do not have deja vu. I moved here 5 years ago. I had applied and got the job to be the CEO of the Provincetown Film Society. But I moved here in January of 2020, which I always want to say, like, dun, dun, dun. Like, I mean, think about the timing. And so then the pandemic hit and the world shut down, and, you know, movies and film festivals couldn't really happen.
Right.
So I moved back to Seattle, Washington, where I've been living for the past 21 years. And I've been working with clients in Provincetown. I have a PR company, and I've always wanted to come back. Something has always pulled me back here. And then this job came about, and because I've been working with the Guild for the past 6 years, I felt like this was a great opportunity. Here I am.
What are you most excited about to sink your teeth in?
I would say I'm really excited to get to know more of the businesses in town. As the publicist for the organization, there's like, I know a lot, and I've been telling the story of Provincetown for so many years, but there's only so much I've been able to drink from afar. So I'm really excited to like walk the streets and walk into every business and introduce myself and just get to know more about all the amazing things that happen and go on here throughout the year, and also the events and that blend of a membership organization that supports businesses, but also that draws tourists here to town is very awesome, and I'm excited to dive deeper into that as well.
So was Holly Folly, you were here this past week for Holly Folly. How was your first event behind the scenes?
Oh, it was great. It's funny because I think Holly Folly, I always talk about it because it's the only LGBTQ plus holiday festival in the country. And I always say, like, until someone tells me it's not, it is.
I was gonna say, I didn't know that.
Exactly. But I mean, I did a little research before I said that, like when I started putting this in press releases. But it was so awesome to be here. Like the festive nature. I mean, like everyone is just so happy and so like happy to be here and happy to participate. And there's such a wide variety of entertainment and things to do. And like the amount of people that came out and stripped down and ran down Commercial Street, like in extremely cold weather. I mean, extremely cold for me, I guess. I'm sure y'all are used to it.
It was pretty cold.
Okay,
We're
thank
not.
you.
We're not.
But we had almost 250 people register, which is more than last year. I think we had 140. So that was just amazing, and people were like so into it and so just happy to do it, and it was great, fun to watch. I did not run.
You didn't participate.
That's not for me either.
No, I mean, you know, I'm here to provide.
Yeah.
What do we have coming up for First Light?
For First Light, so the amazing polar plunge, of course.
Get naked and get cold.
Yeah, you know, that's what we do. But before that, we are doing a show at Town Hall, along with the Crown and Anchor. It's a New Year's Follies show on the Saturday night before.
Oh, I'm seeing
New
that.
Year's. Oh, good.
I will be there Saturday of December 28th at Town Hall.
There you go. I know that there's some other programming happening. Like I know the Crown is doing some programming for New Year, like on New Year's, but also like the week leading up to New Year's. And then the Polar Plunge, of course, is the crowning glory of the New Year's celebrations.
Fireworks over the weekend or
sorry,
on New
yes.
Year's itself?
I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Yeah,
We'll let you know.
I can't remember how they do it when it's on like a Tuesday, which is weird.
Yeah. I don't remember. I apologize.
That's okay.
So Holly Folly, we had mentioned earlier, it seemed like it was the busiest one we've ever had. I remember Halloween was the busiest Halloween we've ever had. Any inkling as to why it seems like our big off-season events are getting even bigger?
I think part of it might come down to economic issues. Sometimes it's a lot more expensive, obviously, to come here in the summer. And I think some people who make Provincetown a destination for an annual visit have maybe shifted their time because it's it's easier from a financial standpoint to find a place to stay during Halloween or Holly Folly. That's one thing that we have been talking about at the PPG office, that we think why we've seen such a growth in those off-season holidays. And there's also more programming happening I was here for Halloween as well. And there's so much going on. Like you can stumble into a party or a costume event easily for like a week. So I think it's a combination of economy and just people's differing interests.
Well, we're excited to see the off-season grow.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, where do you see on the calendar the places where we can like make things better the most?
I would say off season. I think the spring is like, I'm not like saying the PPG is going to start creating tons more of events, because I don't think that that's a smart idea either. But I think highlighting the things that happen in April, May, and really Pride in June, because I know more and more people have been coming earlier and having that Pride, which is actually how I got started with PPG almost 7 years ago, is promoting that first official Pride. But I think like something like Lesbian Visibility Week happening in April, and the things that happen in May, it's a great opportunity for people to come here when it's not as crowded, when it maybe is a little bit easier to afford some place to stay, and growing Halloween and Holly Folly. I mean, I don't know how much more they could grow because there's not a lot of space, but and also the things that happen in the things that you can do in town that are not necessarily tied to a theme week or an event. I'm really interested in learning a lot more about the outdoors, and like just as a matter of my job, like I haven't been able to my prior job as the publicist. I haven't done as much around the outdoor activities that are not, tied to a party or a theme week. And I think that's a great opportunity to grow as well.
You had your meet and greet last night. How'd it go?
I did. It was lovely.
Everyone was nice?
Everyone was very nice.
Well, that's over.
Everyone was really nice. It was intimate. It was at the canteen. They're so wonderful to host, and they like put my name up on the sign, like welcome Rachael. We were in the back near the holiday market, and they put out the Christmas cookies, and there's amazing pretzels. It was great. I got to speak to every single person.
That's amazing.
And people whose businesses I've known for a long time, but I've never met the person associated with the business, and that was really wonderful. And I'm going to say it here, because if this happens, not that I need to take credit, but the owners of Mean Burgers and the Portuguese Bakery, I introduced the two of them, and both of them are sort of fans of each other's food, but had never met. And I suggested that they do a collaboration with a malasada burger. So a burger
Now
on a
we're
malasada.
talking.
I mean,
I would
just woke up.
I would take credit for that. If I were you.
I was like, this could be like epic,
Mhm.
and not only delicious, but also like an epic. My mind thinks in story angles because I've been a publicist for so long. But I thought, and also just a great way for two businesses to work together. So
That's awesome.
fingers crossed.
When you see that on the menu next year, you know where it came
It's called
from.
the Rachael. Well, thank you so much for coming in. We are so excited to have
Thank you so much for having me.
And we know each of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
See you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's head over to the roundup with Sam and find out everything we've got going on this weekend.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Wake Up Weekly Roundup with me, Sam Sewell, for the week of December 13th through December 19th. I hope everyone has had a great Holly Folly. There's still a few things going on in town, but rest easy before the holidays. This weekend at Water's Edge Cinema, they will be playing Wicked and Queer, which are both great films, so you want to get your tickets. Also, later on tonight at the Wealthy Harbor Actors Theater, Yule for Fuel is back at 7 p.m., celebrating the season and story and song with a lot of your local favorites, so get those tickets. Also, at 7 p.m. tonight and December 14th and 15th, the Outer Cape Chorale presents Choral Treasures in the Provincetown Town Hall, and then also at the Nauset Middle School on December 15th. Get your tickets now. It's going to be a really great program to enjoy. Then on Saturday, if you have any last-minute gift buying needs, you can go to all manners of market in town, including the Canteen Holiday Market, open every weekend until New Year's, and also the Crown and Anchors Holiday Market at the Crown, open Saturdays and Sundays 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. until December 29th. And also this weekend, there is a Holiday Makers Market at the Commons December 14th and 15th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with gifts, crafts, and food. And if that's not enough, over at the Churro Clay Works, they're having a holiday studio sale and tour December 14th and 15th from 12 to 3 p.m. Then on Sunday, over at the post office, Darlene and Billy will be laying down some tunes starting at 7 p.m. And if you can't catch them Sundays, you can also catch them Tuesdays at Tin Pan Alley at 7 p.m. Speaking of Tuesdays, Tangle Tuesdays is still going on strong every Tuesday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. over at the Provinceland building. Get your crocheting on. It's getting cold outside, but if you want some trivia, you can join Crohn's Trivia at the Bay Cafe at 7 p.m. every Tuesday as well. Wednesday, there is line dancing starting at 7 p.m. It's $20 per person, and it's always a good time. And on Thursday, back at Water's Edge Cinema, the film art series is presenting Daddy-O at 7 p.m. with Howard Karen in collaboration with Pam. Upcoming, stay tuned for more information about the Townie Holiday Extravaganza from the Provincetown Theater. All manner of local talents and performers. This is a really great event happening Thursday through Saturday starting December 19th through the 22nd. As always, if you have anything you'd like to promote, please feel free to email me at samsewellarts@gmail.com. Bundle up, it's getting cold out there, and I will see you around.
Thank you so much, Sam. There's so much going on in town. Get to Provincetown. Please welcome William from the Provincetown Independent to Wake Up. You're
Welcome
back again.
Yes,
Nice to
be back.
see you.
Yeah.
How are you?
Thanks for coming back.
I'm doing well. The off season's kicking off. Things are quieting down.
Yeah. But all your friends leave come the off season, right?
That's true. Although being at the paper, it's nice to have a few other young people around that
Totally.
I get to see every day, which is very nice.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
So what's your beat lately? What are you covering?
Whew, I've been covering a lot lately. One of the big things lately has been coyotes. There's been some research that's just come out regarding the Outer Cape coyote population that I'm here to talk to you guys about.
I'm
What's
gonna
going
guess
on?
it's gone down.
Well, it's interesting. We don't fully know because one of the pieces of research was one of the first actual attempts to properly figure out how many there are out here. One of the things that I think people might not know, do you mind if I give you some history about kind of
Please
how
do.
coyotes ended up here?
Yay.
So essentially, when we talk about coyotes, our coyotes are not the same as the coyotes that are in the Midwest or the Great Plains. 300 years ago, 400 years ago, really, before settlers arrived, there were wolves here. And they were smaller than the wolves you see in the rest of North America. This is just the game here is smaller. We had smaller wolves. The settlers wiped them out. And for 350 years, there were no large predators here. And then what happened as these wolves, and this sort of trend of killing wolves went throughout the East. And what happened was coyotes, which previously were only found in the Midwest and the Great Plains, they started making their way east and north. And so then all of a sudden you have coyotes interacting with the remnant wolf populations up in Canada. And these coyotes and these wolves started breeding. And they bred with dogs. So you get this weird, like, 3-part hybrid animal. And this happened in the 20s. And this is what we know as our coyotes. There's a scientist that's based in Barnstable named Jonathan Way, who's probably the preeminent authority on coyotes out here. And he prefers to refer to them as coy wolves. Because really, they are they're about 60% coyote, about 30% wolf, about 10% dog. So there's this very strange animal.
That's crazy.
And then the thing is, now that they have wolf DNA in them, they're a little bit larger and they're able to hunt deer more effectively. And so once they can do that, boom, they explode across the East. They showed up in the 1920s. They just had sort of arrived in Ontario, in eastern Ontario, and by the 1980s they reached Cape Cod.
Wow.
And now they're everywhere. And the study estimated that there are about 80 that live on the Outer Cape.
Okay.
And the interesting thing, though, was that they are not, that they're very genetically diverse. So what that suggests is that they are traveling on and off Cape, maybe a lot, and that there are coyotes from off Cape coming on Cape to breed and coyotes from on Cape going off Cape. And it suggests that our coyotes, the coyote that you see in your yard every day in Truro or whatever, it might have been in Mashpee a month ago.
Great.
So yeah,
that's wild. That's really interesting. I feel like living in town, I feel like you can kind of see the ebb and flow of different animals. Like there's all of a sudden 1,000 rabbits. Has everyone noticed that?
There's lots of rabbits.
Like 3 years ago, I never saw a rabbit. Now I see like 10 a day, and I wonder how that all interacts with the different populations, like of the coyotes, of the foxes, of the rabbits.
Fodder, food.
Well, it's a good question. There's this sort of phenomenon in ecology where you have predator-prey dynamics. So the prey population goes up, which causes the predator population to go up. Now all of a sudden there's a lot of predators that eat all the prey goes down again, and the predators go down.
Right.
And you get this big like 2 waves following each other. But it's funny you bring up rabbits, because there's something very interesting about the rabbits on Cape Cod. So when I'm sure everyone who's watching this has seen a rabbit on Cape Cod before, but there are actually 2 kinds of rabbits that we have here. There is Eastern Cottontail, which is the far and away the most common. They're the ones that you are most likely to see in your backyard and stuff like that. They're actually not from here. They're also from the Midwest. But these ones were introduced by hunters in the early 1900s because they liked hunting rabbits. And all of a sudden they introduced these rabbits and they love it here. So they started breeding like crazy and they explode. But before the 1900s, there was a different kind of rabbit, which is called New England Cottontail. And they are, they look almost identical, but genetically they're completely different. They even have a different number of chromosomes. And they behave quite differently. You think of cottontails, you see them in your yard, you see them running across the street, Eastern Cottontails. But New England Cottontails, they prefer like the dense, shrubby, thorny thickets. They tend to stay hidden. They tend to stay out of people's way, essentially. And the interesting thing is that we kind of long thought that that New England Cottontails were kind of eliminated out here because they need this really thickety habitat. And 100, 200 years ago, when everything was cleared for farmland, we kind of lost a lot of that habitat.
Right.
So the assumption had long been that they'd been knocked off the outer Cape, that they were only found in little pockets near like Mashpee and Barnstable. And throughout their range, this has happened. New England Cottontails used to be found way up to Quebec and up the Hudson River Valley, but now they're much more localized. But a new study that was, funnily enough, looking at coyotes found that it's a little bit gross, but they essentially found they were looking at their poop.
Okay.
And they were doing DNA analysis to figure out what is the prey that's in their poop. And they found that New England Cottontails, which were thought to be basically gone out here, were some seasons more common than Eastern Cottontails.
Interesting.
So this is a not quite endangered, but it's in Massachusetts. It's called like a species of special conservation need. It's basically just a way to highlight something without giving it any legal protections. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
And it was thought to be basically absent out here. Turns out they're probably everywhere, and we just don't know about it. So there's a chance that if you're walking along in beech forest, or if your house backs onto like the woods and you see a rabbit, it very well could be this much rarer kind of rabbit without you having any idea.
Can they interbreed?
So barely, a little bit. That was a long kind of a worry that what would happen was Eastern Cottontails would show up, they breed way faster, and then they kind of just interbreed with the New England Cottontails and basically like absorbed, and the population just becomes this big hodgepodge.
Yeah.
But the genetic data so far shows that most of them are, like, there's very, very few interbreeds. They're called hybrids. And we don't have any evidence that hybrids themselves can breed. It's possible that when they breed, their offspring are sterile or something like that. So probably not too much interbreeding.
Much like their human counterparts, New England rabbits think they're better than other rabbits.
Right.
Like, get away from me.
So I feel like the big question around coyotes, and I'm not sure if you can even answer this, but like, it's a safety thing. So many people are concerned of the safety of themselves, their pets. What could you say on that?
So it's interesting because there is a legitimate reason to be, I would say, cognizant of coyotes. They are predators at the end of the day. There was infamously, I believe it was 2 summers ago, there was a coyote that bit a kid in Hough. That is super rare. Like, if you think about the fact that there are coyotes here all the time and these attacks are extremely rare, I kind of like, when it comes to wildlife safety, I like to use the sort of threshold of, is it more dangerous than getting in a car? And this is definitely, like, having coyotes around is definitely safer than being in a car. But the thing with coyotes is that diet study also found that they're eating a lot of chicken. Like 70% of their poops contain chicken.
Oh, all the wild chickens that we have here in Cape
Exactly.
Cod.
So maybe they're eating people's pet chickens. Probably not. It's more likely they're eating trash.
Okay.
So yeah, thank
Or
God.
people are feeding them
Or
chicken.
people are feeding them chickens. We definitely know there's been some of that. That's happened. So
Don't feed the wildlife.
don't feed the wildlife, because there was a study from 2020 in the University of Alberta that found that coyotes that eat human food are more aggressive. And maybe that's because of the hormones in the food. Maybe it's just because it messes with their gut biome. We don't really know why, but there is solid evidence that coyotes get more aggressive when they eat human food. But again, it's so rare that they're going to attack you. They're so rare that they attack pets too. The other really interesting thing is that coyotes have also been shown that when they arrive in an area, they, these sort of coy wolves at least, they will lower the deer population. We have plenty of deer out here. And lowering the deer population is really healthy. Like I said, there have been predators on the Outer Cape for thousands of years. It was just this brief period during settlement that there were none. And keeping deer populations in check is important, A, because it's just healthy for the ecosystem, but it also is good for humans. It keeps Lyme disease numbers low. There was I read an article by the former head of the Vineyard Conservation Trust that when coyotes arrived on the Elizabeth Islands, north of Martha's Vineyard, the incidence of Lyme disease plummeted. And keeping deer populations in check, like, it sounds so grisly to say, but it prevents car accidents. Deer collisions happen all the time. And if we can keep deer populations in check, that keeps a lot of people safe too. So I like to think of predators, the safety risk they pose is quite low, and they have enormous benefits for life, for animals and humans out here.
Do they eat turkeys?
I would bet so. I believe that they found turkey in a few of the samples. So I
see
think
turkeys
so.
everywhere, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why aren't you scared? Like, they're not running. They don't look scared of anything. I'm like,
They sleep in trees.
They do?
Yes, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
They like fly up to a tree and sleep.
Weird.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. That's what I thought too.
Do you remember that one summer when there were skunks everywhere?
No.
Skunks.
I
Do
think-
you know about the skunk puppy?
I don't know about
when I was first here. There were skunks. Skunks would clear Spiritus.
Yeah.
At 1:30.
Really?
Wow.
Skunks would walk down the street and they would be like, "Everybody got that." Like, that skunk walks down the street. I haven't smelled skunks in years.
Yeah. There was like for a brief time, and now you don't ever see one anymore.
Well, I don't know. I've not looked into skunks in the Outer Cape. I do have a fun skunk fact. Do you know the one animal out here that regularly eats skunks?
What?
Great horned owls.
Really?
Because great horned owls have a really bad sense of smell. So they don't care.
Oh.
They will attack a skunk, it'll spray it, all right, and then they'll eat it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Weird.
owls help keep the skunk population in check.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a country boy and I really do love animals, but I was taught the best way to love animals is to make them afraid of you. Because the best thing for wild animals, regardless of what they are, is to be the best thing for them is for them to be afraid of people. And it's what, in my opinion, obviously, which is based on nothing, but the things that cause these incidents where coyotes attack people is because that coyote is not scared of people, which the coyote should be scared of people. I got a couple tourists mad at me because there were these baby raccoons on Commercial Street, and I kind of super cute, but I kind of gently scared them away because they shouldn't feel comfortable or safe on Commercial Street because they are not safe on Commercial Street, so they should avoid it.
No, you're very right. Like, you honestly, I have no notes on that exact analysis. Like,
It's based on him co-signing it.
Yeah, when animals get comfortable with people, that's when attacks happen.
Right.
Like, there's so many situations in, like, you hear all the stories in Yellowstone of people trying to feed bears, and then the bear bites them. It's like, well, yeah,
Right.
you're made of meat. Like, and
Oh my God.
and with coyotes, you know, we don't have any idea what happened with the Herring Cove coyote. We don't know its history, but there have been plenty of incidents of health control or animal control officers finding stashes of meat that were like left out for coyotes. Sometimes with anti-mange medicine, because people think they're sort of helping them by like helping them fight mange. That's a whole other kettle of fish because it's just so dangerous to. If you teach a animal like a coyote that humans are there to give them food, that's just, as you said, that's not the way to keep animals safe. We should have respect for them and interact with them as we are sort of meant to be. We're separate species, and it's just it's hard because baby raccoons are adorable, but like it sets a very bad precedent if we start trying, because those baby raccoons also grow into adult raccoons,
Right.
and adult raccoons are, I think they're cute, but they're
So cute.
they get hungry, they get scratchy. Like if you adopt a baby raccoon, eventually it's going to become an adult raccoon. And then what are you going to do? This animal that you've hand fed your whole life, release it back into the wild, it'll die. Yeah. It's really a hard pill to swallow sometimes, but the best way to treat our animals with respect is to, as you said, make them afraid, and make sure that they don't treat humans as friends, but as another species to sort of cohabitate with, not rely on.
From a distance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pick up your beach trash after your barbecue. Don't leave hot dogs in the sand. That's what the coyotes are patrolling the shoreline for beach trash.
Oh.
Right.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
They also eat beached whales sometimes, and dead seals and stuff. It's crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They'll eat anything.
They really will.
Yeah.
This is really soothing because sometimes I have to walk home late at night alone through that giant parking lot behind the CVS. And I'm always like, are they going to come running out?
They're scared of you.
They are me.
And if you are walking and you see, maybe this is crazy of me, but like if I'm walking or I'm on my bike and I come close to a raccoon, I yell at it.
Not a raccoon. I'm talking about
I meant to say coyote too. I just imagine you being swarmed by
freaking out at a raccoon.
Oh my god.
Are there porcupines here?
So what a lovely segue. Thank you. So there are not porcupines here.
Okay.
However, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, a raccoon showed up in Eastham. It was found lying on the side of the road. Do you guys know Wildcare? So it was near Wildcare, right near the Rotary. Lying on the side of the road. It was dead. It had a face full of porcupine quills.
Interesting.
And it had a washcloth on its butt. And later testing,
the heck?
right? And then the state tested it, and it had rabies. So there's not been rabies.
That's crazy.
Like there's not been a rabies sort of population on Cape Cod since the mid 2010s. There was one raccoon in Hyannis that showed up with rabies, but it turned out that that raccoon had come from North Plymouth and probably rode a truck here or something like that. That happens sometimes. But other than that, raccoon rabies rather, is not found here. But this raccoon did have rabies. It also had porcupine quills in its face. And there is
not found here.
Also not found here. So there's now this mystery of how did this raccoon get here? Based on the washcloth. Okay, my theory. I've had a conversation with a few people about this. My theory is there was someone who was coming from Boston back to the Cape, or maybe from around Plymouth. That's kind of the closest that you get porcupines, is just south of Boston. And they either hit a raccoon with their car or found a raccoon struggling in the backyard or something. And they were heading back to the Cape already. And they were like, oh, let's pick it up and we'll bring it to Wildcare. And it had a face full of porcupine quills. It was rabid and they didn't know. And so they scooped it up with a washcloth, put it in a box, drove it to Eastham. And when they got to Eastham, it had died. Either it probably wasn't a car accident because the raccoon didn't look injured, but it probably succumbed to the rabies. And then they got to Wildcare, and my bet is that they were like, oh my God, are they going to get mad at us thinking we killed this raccoon? And there's like, let's just put it on the side of the road.
With the washcloth.
With the washcloth. That bit, I don't know.
Rabies is not to be messed with. It's literally... I listened to this podcast for a long time that covered a lot of different diseases, and the only episode that horrified me was rabies.
It is
so scary.
What happens if a person gets rabies?
So there's two things that can happen.
That's a zombie disease. Rabies is zombies.
So yeah, rabies, if you get rabies, it takes a long time for it to actually start to have effects. Which is
once
good.
It does, it's over.
So that's the
thing. Yeah.
If you get bitten by a rabid animal, sometimes it's as simple as washing it out, but regardless, you should go to the hospital. They'll give you rabies boosters. If you get the rabies booster, it has a 100% survival rate. You're fine. However, once symptoms show up, you will literally die.
There's no chance.
I think the last time I checked, there have been 3 recorded instances of people surviving once they get symptoms for rabies, and they're in a vegetative state for the rest of their life. It is one of the deadliest diseases to affect human beings. So that being said, if you were the person who hit this raccoon,
go to the doctor.
Please go to the doctor.
How long does it take before symptoms start appearing?
It was Bob.
I don't honestly know.
Have you come into contact with anyone?
No.
Okay, good. You're fine.
And please, if you have already gone to the doctor, I'm glad. But please let health officials know this is what happened, because they're sort of doing tests right now to figure out what strain of rabies it is and what the raccoon is like genetically to figure out where it came from. but the more information, the better, because if it turns out you did hit this animal in like, you know, Sandwich, that's really important. Or if you hit it in Eastham, that is important to know. So yeah.
What really scares me, or the reason I call it a zombie disease with rabies, is one of the symptoms of rabies is hydrophobia, which is you're scared of water, you're scared to drink water. And that is because rabies is spread through your saliva. So the rabies tells your brain to be afraid of water so that it won't won't drink to wash away the saliva and make it harder to transmit. So it like affects your brain in a way to help the rabies spread. Like it affects your behavior.
Like the crazy cat.
Yeah, it's that's I was like, that's
it's
so
terrifying.
Fucking scary.
And like, to be honest, another sort of PSA, raccoons will never attack a porcupine unless they're rabid. They basically, if you see a raccoon that has porcupine quills in it, it probably has rabies. Leave it alone.
I could talk to you forever.
I know, literally. I thought we were going to end the show early, and then we talked about wildlife for 20 minutes.
Oh,
I could talk about this all day, though. Yeah.
Me too.
As could I. Thank you for having me
Thank
on.
you so much. You're coming every week from now on.
Thank you so much. Thank you to all our viewers.
Oh, you guys, by the way, they're looking for people to help read A Christmas Carol, the Dickens classic, on Saturday, December 21st from 1 to 3. Readers.
Yes, readers.
Mark's going to be there. You read a chapter. Everybody, reads the book together out loud.
Sign up at the library.
Sign up at the library now.
Also, I forgot to mention, I am launching my new cocktail list at Porch Bar on Monday night.
The day after tomorrow?
Oh, jeez.
The day after that?
Yeah, the day after tomorrow. Yeah. But I'm launching my new cocktail list. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be behind the bar on Monday and Tuesday making my new drinks. So stop by and have one. Yeah. Thank you to our viewers. Hope you're having a really great holiday season.
Except you, Daniel.
Oh, Jesus. Thank you to our sponsors, the Crown and Anchor, the Provincetown Brewing Company, Boat Slip, Shipwreck at the Brass Key, Provincetown Business Guild, as well as PTV and Provincetown Tourism.
Thank you for waking up in Provincetown.
Wherever you are.
And we'll see you next Friday.
Yeah.
Bye.
Good morning, everybody. Wake up. Wake up, wake up. In Provincetown.